Welcome to Sun City News. I'm your host, Georgia Lash. Here are some of the stories we're starting off with for this week. We have a medical report from Dr. Sardana of Beaufort Memorial Hospital. Reporter JoJo Hines checked out the Adult Learn to Swim class. And later in the program, we check in with Securitas Chief Joe Schetting to talk about traffic safety. Those stories and more coming up. Sun City News starts now.
This is Sun City News, with our news team bringing you stories from Sun City and the Low Country, taking the lead with entertainment news. And on deck is our sports report. Sun City News, from people you know, about people you know. This week's SCTV News starts now.
We know it all too well about experiencing those achy joints. Dr. Sardana helps us navigate the signs and when and how treatment can begin. Dr. Sardana, thank you for coming back. We've talked about knee replacement, but of course, at our age, we're experiencing a lot of other types of joint pain situations. So what can be some of the common causes of joint pain as we get older?
Well, the most common cause of joint pain as we get older is the osteoarthritis or the wear and tear arthritis. Then there's also the inflammatory arthritis like rheumatoid arthritis, but also traumatic injuries like meniscus injuries, ACL injuries, or ligamentous injuries. And most commonly are people in our age group sometimes have traumatic injuries playing pickleball, tennis, golf, and meniscus is the most common I see in those regards.
Okay, now you're an orthopedic surgeon, but are there some conservative measures that you can recommend for joint pain for patients who present?
Yes, so physical therapy is one mainstay of treatment, which kind of helps strengthen the muscles around the joint, kind of takes the load off the joint, put them on the muscles. The second line of treatment is medications. So you can take oral medications like Aleve, Advil, they call NSAIDs, as well as topical NSAIDs like diclofenac gel, but also injections like cortisone injection, which helps relieve the inflammation, gives you a good 3 months relief. The second type of injection is the hyaluronic acid or the rooster shots. And they are usually a series. So they could be series over 3 weeks, 5 weeks, or one single shot. But they provide nutrients to the cartilage and grease the joint. It's hyaluronic acid, which is a compound actually found in your cartilage. So it's food.
I'm seeing that in cosmetics as well. So
Yes.
I think it's a much better use perhaps
Absolutely.
for those joints. But are there notable side effects to whether it's cortisone or the other injections?
Well, everything has some kind of side effect profile, and cortisone does have a side effect profile. If you do it too often, it can increase your sugar levels, so it can affect your diabetes. It can increase your blood pressure for a little bit. It can affect the kidneys in the long run. But if you do it once every 3 or 4 months or 6 months, it's a good treatment for anti-inflammatory effect. But if you do it every couple of weeks, it's not a good thing to do.
I was going to say now, if a patient goes through the injection therapy, how long can they expect pain relief from that treatment?
So I tell my patients you should expect at least 3 months from a cortisone shot and about 6 months from a hyaluronic acid or gel series.
Okay, and if that begins to deteriorate as their choice of actual relief, then you would recommend other procedures?
Yes, then you would look into knee replacement surgery.
Okay.
And, there are different ways to do that.
Are there any other non-surgical components of therapy that could be provided to patients?
Yeah, so there's new and upcoming stem cells that have always been on the mind, and the research is starting to support a little bit about PRP, or platelet-rich plasma. Okay. In that case, we take your blood, churn down, and get the good stem cells out and inject them back into your knee. Now, the evidence is still weak, but it's starting to get there. Other than that, being active is the key ingredient.
That's the hard part for some of us. But thank you for giving us these tips, and we hope to hear from you again. Thank you stopping in for Sun City TV.
Thank you for having me over.
Sun City Swim Club held their annual Adult Learn to Swim class all last week, and JoJo Hines has this report.
I'm here with Cynthia Smith, the head coach of the Sun City Swim Club. Today, I'm going to speak to her about the Adult Learn to Swim. Hi, Cynthia.
Hey, JoJo, how are you?
Very good, thank you. Can you tell us what the participants are going to be learning today?
Well, this whole week we're starting with the basic steps of swimming, and then every day we add on new skills.
And how many people do you have attending the classes today?
We have 15 people in the class this year.
And how many coaches are helping you this year?
We have 10 coaches in the water, so everybody gets a lot of individual attention this year.
And how long has the swim club been having the adult learn to swim?
This is our 9th year, so we've been doing it. We've got it down to a pretty good science, and they're very successful.
That's awesome, Cynthia. How many participants do we have in this that are now part of the swim club that started out in the adult learn to swim?
We've had many that have transitioned from learning to swim to coming all the way up through competitive swimmers. And there's probably over the 9 or 10 years, maybe 20 or more. But when you think about all the people who swim regularly, but don't necessarily maintain a club membership, it's much more than that.
That's amazing. I can't believe that. Now, the gratification, what type of gratification do you think the swimmers get from learning how to swim?
Almost everybody who wants to learn to swim at our age, this is a real milestone for them. Whether they want to swim with their grandkids or it's just something they've always wanted to do, they always come with motivation, and we make it fun. So everyone's being successful. It is so gratifying to see them learn something that they were afraid of or were afraid they weren't going to be able to do. And successfully, everybody gets from one end to the other.
And what kind of gratification do you get knowing that you gave somebody that ability to learn to go back and forth swimming?
Well, this is really why we keep coaching. It is gratifying to the coaches, sharing our enthusiasm for the sport, for the way swimming makes us feel, the better health that we're enjoying and sharing that with fellow residents is really heartwarming to ourselves. It makes us feel good, and so it's a feel-good week all around.
Thank you, Cynthia, for reminding me to get back in the pool. Thank you so much.
Still more to come. We sit in on the latest Meet the Author. Chris Chase visits with the Woodchicks at the fire pit, and we gain additional insights from our visit with wood turner Nick DiMona. We will return after this brief break.
There's May Day, Mayfest, and the May edition of Extra coming to you.
Let's not forget Mother's Day. And Mama would be proud of the show we put together for you. You'll check out our local Vietnam War Veterans Memorial Day ceremony.
Learn about the newest addition to Sun City, the Modus tracking system. And you won't believe how Sun City award-winning photographer Sophia Shade got her lunar eclipse shots.
Wait till you hear the stories shared by a Marine One pilot who transported both President Reagan and President Bush.
And for our finale, meet the geezers.
Oh, gotta get the geezers. Cable viewers, please check our program listings on the Sun City website. And most conveniently, you can always catch us on our YouTube station, where we invite you to subscribe for easy viewing. Sun City resident and writer Margie Hamner emerged from retirement to launch her writing career. At the recent Meet the Author event, I sat down with Margie to talk about her literary journey. Oh, Margie, welcome to Meet the Author. It's so nice to have you here. Now, we've got a lot to talk about. With our first book that I'd like to address, The Real Women in Real Estate, who's your target audience for this book?
Well, thank you, Georgia, and thank you, Sun City, for having me today. I'm really excited to be here. And so, yes, the real women in real estate. The target audience is really anyone that wants to invest in real estate. It can be men, it can be women. It's a collection of different stories, mainly from women, because it's called The Real Women in Real Estate, about how their investment journeys, what they did. And there's lots of different kinds, like storage units, mobile home parks, flips, and foreclosures and lots of things. So it's a collection of a lot of different ways of investing in real estate.
Now, I have to believe that with the success you've had in your careers, what skills did you sort of draw back on to make this authorship happen?
Well, I think a lot of it, I mean, in my corporate world, writing was different. I mean, it's policies, it's procedures, it's writing proposals, it's very boring, So this was a completely different kind of a genre. That was a stretch, honestly, for me. So I think a lot of it was learning to step outside of what I already knew to gain into something different.
Well, I think when we talk about something that you knew, it should lead us into your second book. And this is Magic Ball of Light, and it's written for children. Now I have to ask, is it a coincidence that really what we read in Magic Ball of Light, I loved it from page to page, and I go back to it sometimes. It reads pretty much like a leadership coaching, a life coaching for those children. Am I correct?
You were spot on. I mean, I can't, you were spot on, and you can see the connection, the segue from one type of a lifestyle to a new type of a lifestyle.
It's wonderful. Now, as I look back at what you've done for people, when I looked, I did a lot of research and, about the company that you were in with your leadership things, and then, of course, the tributes that people said, about how you've affected their life. I wondered, were you that fortunate when you started this writing career? Do you have someone sort of coaching you and being your mentor?
That is such a great question, and I wish I could tell you that yes, there was this person who was my guiding light. I guess I could say my husband was one, because he's a natural writer, and I would always, give him things to look at. But I've learned since I sort of did this by the seat of my pants, honestly, this whole thing happened, this whole thing of writing this book, which having the vision created this one, I sort of did it by the seat of my pants. So now I'm in a writing group. Now I have a mentor. But in the beginning I didn't, because you don't know that you don't know that you could be better.
To hear more from author Margie Hamner, tune into the June episode of SCTV's Meet the Author show. The Woodchicks broke away from the woodshop for a spring fling at the Lake House Fire Pit. Reporter Chris Chase, a woodchick herself, brings us the highlights.
Yes, we're here with the Woodchicks, just like I said we were going to do. Now, Lynn, tell us about the Woodchicks, what they're doing.
The Woodchicks are a group of over 230 women in the wood shop. And we've been meeting 3 times a week for projects and time for the new members to come in and work with more established members to feel more comfortable with the machines that they learned in the classes.
That's excellent. Now, this is a great party. Looks lots of wonderful people. Allie, I know you're responsible for this, right? What did you do?
What we really did is that because we only had 4 people that wanted to go to the Irish pub, believe it or not. So we said we had to do something different. So we decided to do a cocktail party because it's her last time as the president.
Oh, okay.
So we had to give her a good send-off. So
It's a cocktail party with no cocktails.
yeah, we can't have cocktails. So it's a non-alcoholic cocktail party. So we decided.
I'm surprised you got Woodchicks to come anyway.
Well, that's because I said that I would cook wings.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we provided the chicken wings and from my husband's famous recipe, and also lemonade and sweet tea.
Oh, sounds
And they can bring their own drinks if they.
That's a good thing. Well, let's take a look at all the goodies you've got.
Yes, my gosh. And then they all brought their own.
Last week, Norma Taylor talked with Sun City resident Nick DiMona about his expertise in wood carving. We continue with Nick about what exactly is wood turning.
A wood turner makes things out of wood by revolving it on a machine. This is called a lathe. And with this, I can spin it. And when it spins, I use a tool, one of many tools here.
Oh, to carve it
to
the
carve
way you
it.
want.
Right.
You have to know
And so this you get in here, and
to
everybody
make sure
calls
that none of
everybody
the
calls
wood
it
chips
a
are
mask.
right. Right.
And you take the wood. I'll put this down here. You take a piece of wood, okay,
Like this,
Mhm.
and you make a bowl out of it.
a,
Or
a bowl or whatever you want. The wood should be a year per inch to dry. Otherwise, it will warp and or crack. My wood is all 20 years minimum aged.
whoa. Tell us, how long you've been doing this?
I've been doing wood since I was 10. I was carving as a 10-year-old. I guess I got my first lathe, probably was 20 years old.
So you've been doing this over almost 70 years?
Yes.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
And you're still going strong. You're working on this every day?
Every day, minimum of 8 hours.
Holy smokes. Oh my gosh. You got to be a strong man to do.
That's what keeps you in shape. The reason for it being heavy, for being long, if it was lighter, it would oscillate. And whatever happens here at the tip goes the same way.
Okay.
So you want it to be stable. The yarn bowl is for knitters. You take your ball of yarn and drop it in the bowl, then feed it through here. So as you pull it, the bowl rolls around and doesn't tangle. You just keep pulling it out. And then these holes are to put your knitting needles in. When you're done, you just stick them in there.
Well, Nick DiMona, you are an amazing, amazing man. Congratulations on all you do. You're one of a kind, Nick.
Thank you, thank you.
Still, much more ahead on Sun City News. Rich Holman is here with an entertainment report. Securitas Chief Joe Schetting gives us a traffic update, and Mike Romano has sports to report. So come on back.
Okay, so we have tons of stuff that was going on in April for our May edition of In Our Neighborhood.
Right.
And a few of them we're going to share include.
We have the Heritage Oak Place.
Okay.
They had a scavenger hunt.
Ah, interesting. So I would imagine there's a lot of golf carts and
golf carts,
checking out neighborhoods and stuff, right?
And ends up with a meal.
So
After that, Willowbrook had a Where You Were From party.
Oh,
So yeah,
okay.
so you know what? They had a map. Everybody put down, on the map where they were from. They had icebreakers. Where are you from? Icebreaker, and a meal again. A meal. And the meal was, where are you from food?
Oh, how cute. That's
so
very clever.
check that out. And then lastly, we had...
Oh, this is a fun one for sure. Oh, definitely.
A hippie party. All the colors, the sights, the sounds. It was an amazing activity.
Let's head over to Rich Holman for some entertainment news.
Reporter Randy Selman had a chance to sit down with Tara Jean Valley, director of Waitress, the musical. Hear what she has to say about the show, and stay tuned as Andrea Gannon gives us the inside scoop of what else is happening at the Arts Center of Coastal Carolina on Hilton Head Island.
So, Tara Jean, welcome back to the Arts Center.
Thank you. It's lovely to be here.
So the last time I saw you, you were directing Beautiful, the Carole King musical, and I got to say, it was amazing, and you did a great job. And you're back to do it again here for Waitress.
Yes.
Yeah, the musical.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about the show.
Sure, I'd love to. Waitress is based on the movie of the same name, written by Adrienne Shelley, with a beautiful backdrop of a score by Sarah Bareilles. When it premiered on Broadway in 2016, it was the first ever all-female creative team. So that is a very special piece of information from my heart. It takes us on a journey with Jenna, the waitress and entrepreneurial pie maker, who comes from a bit of a broken marriage, an abusive relationship, and she's in a dead-end job. But it's the story of the resilience and the courage that it takes to find her way back to her dream and what she owes her inner child, what the dreams you owe the child who had that in their heart. So yeah, it's a beautiful story.
So all the characters here are so well defined. Tell us just a little tiny bit about each character.
Oh, there's so many great ones. And this cast is just so wonderful. Okay, where do I start? Well, Joe, whose diner we're sitting in, Joe is a curmudgeon with a huge marshmallow heart. He's just so endearing. Then we have Becky and Dawn, the waitresses that are Jenna's ride or dies. Dawn is, let's see, she's likes a life of order, shall we say, and her love language is like the History Channel. So she enjoys her life of order. And Becky is the truth-telling advice giver. She serves it up with a side of irreverence and sarcasm. So they both have very endearing characters. Then we have Ogie, of course. Who can forget him? He is the tax auditor who dabbles in magic, poetry, arts, all the things. And he brings us a side of humor with every appearance on stage.
Oh, so. Earl, the husband.
Oh, yeah.
I would say he's the most complex character, in my opinion, because he has to be abusive, yet he's restrained. And he has to be restrained on stage as well. So what do you think?
Yeah, complex. Yes, indeed. It's a tough character to play. It's a tough character to direct. But, we have to stay true to the human that he is. The fact that he has a face that he wears in the diner in front of people and a face that he wears at home, and how we differentiate between that and the complexity of him as a human, that we can then, start to dig away at like how he is, why he is, so that you can have some sort of end to his humanity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so I can't wait for the curtain to go up on Waitress. And thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. It's delightful. Thank you so much.
Hi, guys. I'm Andrea Gannon, Vice President of Marketing with the Art Center of Coastal Carolina over here on Hilton Head. And we want to welcome you to some exciting things we have going on this summer. On stage, in addition to Waitress in the spring and the Donna Summer musical this summer coming very soon, it's going to be amazing. We have two other presenting acts. We have Paul Reiser coming back. Do you remember Paul Reiser from Mad About You? He's an author, comedian, actor. He's so prolific, and this man is hilarious. Clean comedy, relatable, so much fun. He will be here July 21st for two shows, a 4:30 4 o'clock that we like to call our happy hour show, and a 7:30 show. And they're already filling up fast, so please hurry and get your friends and come see Paul Reiser. Then for Labor Day weekend, we have the #1 Earth, Wind & Fire tribute in the country, and it's called Let's Groove Tonight. Don't you love that music?
Securitas Chief Joe Schetting talked with Norma Taylor about traffic issues in Sun City. Let's listen.
Well, welcome back, Chief, to Sun City News.
Thanks for having me again.
Okay, this time, Chief, we'd like to ask you some questions about the traffic here in Sun City. Traffic seems to be growing significantly, but one of the questions is, what can be done to stop the cars who go around the golf carts and the bike riders on the Millennium Bridge? This seems to be a daily issue.
Yeah, well, obviously with all the homes being built and more traffic, people seem to be getting a little bit more impatient. I will say that the passing of golf carts and bikes on the bridge subsided for a while when we put the new signs up. I have been getting an increase in complaints. So, when I put those rumble strips on there, I did it because I wanted just to remind people that we're not supposed to be passing cars cars too. I mean, we actually get complaints of cars passing other cars on the bridge.
Whoa.
But just as a reminder that, you're not supposed to be passing. It seemed to work for a while, but I think, people have gotten back into the groove of trying to get where they need to get. What do I tell people? Just slow down. If it takes an extra 2 minutes, you're going to get where you need to get safely. That's the most important thing. And I've said it at neighborhood meetings, the reason why we don't allow any passing on the bridge is because that is only a 12-foot, 6-inch wide lane. So there's no room for error. So if a bike is generally taking up 2 feet of space, there's not a lot of room for a car or 2 cars to get around without the potential for a safety problem. It's a very heavily traveled road. I mean, you know, we have over 5,000-6,000 cars a day that go over the bridge.
So how are the recently installed stop signs working? The Sun City Boulevard and Del Webb Boulevard, and then the Sun City Lane and Del Webb Boulevard and Paget. You put those stop signs there. How are they doing?
Well, they've been working great. When we put them in, obviously we had those blinking lights to warn everybody about the new stop signs, and that was a big help. We've seen a significant decrease in traffic accidents, in particular at Del Webb and Sun City Boulevard. And I've also got far fewer complaints of people that walk through the crosswalk on Sun City Lane that have complained that they almost got ran over by a car. Because before we had the stop signs there, people making left or right turns from Del Webb on Sun City Lane would make the turn quick, and people would be in that crosswalk. And we had some close calls there, and having them stop has made a big difference. Another thing that it helped with is when we have large events at Town Square, it's a controlled intersection now, so it makes it much easier for those when they're discharging from Town Square to get out without major traffic. So it's really helped a lot.
Now here's Mike Romano with sports news.
This past week, the Sun City Tennis Association held its annual Mix and Match Social Tournament. We were there to record some of the fun happenings. Let's take a look.
Okay, we're with Tyler, the president of the Tennis Association. And Tyler, what does a tournament like this do for the association?
Well, it allows all sorts of our members to come and in a really non-threatening, fun environment and play some amazing tennis in variations on the theme of, men playing against men, a man and a woman against another couple, mixed ratings matched together against another couple of mixed ratings. So it's just a really, really super fun event.
How many members do you have in the whole association?
I think right now it's around 780 members right now.
And is court time difficult to get, or is it easy for people to get?
It sort of depends. If you want to play at night under the lights, you'll find a court. If you want to play at 9, 10:30, noon, courts are in high demand. But most of the time, you will get a court. And if you don't get the exact court you want, you'll get another one that'll suit you just fine if you want to play.
Well, thank you, Tyler. Thank you for being with us. And this is an amazing tournament you have here.
Yeah, I just have to give a great shout out to Dudley, to Donna Ryan, to so many people who've stepped up and given so much of themselves and of their energies.
Congratulations to the Purple Rain team on winning this very competitive event. In golf news, the Men's Golf Association announced the winners of the member tournament. Craig Jones and Paul Kellerman are the blue champions, and Ron Miller and Bill Bosek are the white tee champions. Congratulations to the winners. Finally, the softball playoffs kicked off this week. Check the softball website for the schedule of games to be played. That's it for sports. It's now time to get outside and get some fun. For Sun City Sports, I'm Mike Romano.
Well, that's our news this week. Thanks for watching. Catch us on cable and on our YouTube station, where we invite you to click like and subscribe. To see expanded coverage of some of our SCTV stories, tune into our monthly show Extra. And for questions and comments, email us at suncitytvhh@gmail.com. Please check in with us next week for all the news that's in your neighborhood. For Sun City News, I'm Georgia Lash.